In this video, I'll show you how to create high quality leads for your business so that you're not wasting your time on low quality leads, and also reduce your cost of client acquisition at the same time. With just one of these methods, we've actually seen cost per lead go up only by about 40%, but our lead quality has almost doubled. I'll go through 4 levers you can pull to increase lead quality. I'll go through the algorithm and show you how that works so that you can actually get the results you're looking for. And we'll go through the 2 problems that every lead generation advertiser faces, which is junk leads at low cost or high cost but low close rate. These are both fixable without spending more money. So very quickly, why should you even listen to me? So I've spent almost 6 years running paid ads and funnels across many different industries, mostly in the real estate niche. And in that time, one of the key takeaways is you really have to train the algorithm on what you want. The algorithm will give you whatever you're looking for. You just need to tell it exactly what you want. So one of the first levers is using a video creative as opposed to a static image. The reason to use a video creative is that you can pre-frame, pre-qualify, or pre-filter leads just from the video, so that you're not attracting people who are not your target audience. And this can also help build a relationship with the lead and also build trust with them, as they can see you and they can hear you as well. You can think of the video as like your first salesperson. With video, the first 3 seconds are the most important. This is what we call the hook. This is where you need to talk to exactly who you're looking for, and you also need to qualify them and filter them based on who you're actually wanting to reach and speak to, because whoever you attract in those first 3 seconds, not only does that first 3 seconds have to be really good for you to then get them to watch the rest of the video, but those first 3 seconds are also going to be qualifying people and filtering, and therefore telling the algorithm exactly who you're looking for. So what we need to do is make sure we have that in place. So for example, I run a lot of real estate campaigns. So something we would say is something like, New York home buyers, are you looking for properties under market value? And that's something that's firstly going to tell the algorithm, we're looking for people in New York. And secondly, we're looking for home buyers. And thirdly, we have the hook in there, or, the thing that's going to kind of get them to, watch the rest of the video, because everybody loves a good deal. So that's where we have the under market value part in there to get them to watch the rest of the video, or click the ad and fill out their details. At the end of the video, then you want to end with a clear call to action and let them know exactly what you want them to do. And the key thing here is that vague creatives create vague leads. So the more specific you can be on your ad, the more you are giving the algorithm information in order to find exactly what you're looking for. The second lever is form questions and conditional logic, which is a newer feature on Facebook lead forms where you can actually filter leads based on criteria. So I'm just going to share my screen and show you exactly how we do that. Okay, so here we have the lead form part of the Facebook Ads Manager where you would create a form. So here, I'll just skip to the questions bit to show you the conditional logic part, which is the thing that has allowed us to almost double lead quality, but only increase cost per lead by 40%, meaning that we will have a lower cost per client acquisition. So what you're going to do is take this, and then you're going to add in a question to filter the leads that come through. So we want to click multiple choice. And then just an example of one that we are currently using right now is, how soon are you looking to buy? So this is running campaigns for real estate agents who are looking for buyer leads, and so meaning people who are looking to buy a home. And so then we would have like ASAP, 1 to 3 months, add some more options here, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, we'll even put 12 months plus, and then we're going to have another option here, which is then going to disqualify people. So we're going to put not looking to buy, and then we're going to select the logic here. So we're going to click submit form, end page for leads, select the same thing here. And just select the same thing for all the ones where you want to consider it a lead. And then on this last one, what we're going to do is we're not going to click submit the form, we're going to click close the form, meaning people don't give you their info and see an end page for non-leads. So if people click not looking to buy, then what we're telling Facebook is that these are people we don't want, basically. And anyone that clicks this, we want people like this. So that way we end up getting a higher lead quality, and the cost per lead doesn't actually go up as much as the increase in quality, which means that we end up with a net positive in terms of ROI. And then you can also, the way you should kind of frame these questions is you want to have a soft question as opposed to a hard question. So what I mean by that is, this I would say is a soft question, like, how soon are you looking to buy? A hard question would be something like, when are you buying? Because then that sounds like higher commitment, whereas this is just like, how soon are you looking to buy? So people are going to be far more honest asking these soft questions as opposed to the hard questions. So that's something to definitely keep in mind, because that will also increase your completion rate and reduce your cost per lead as well. And then, you don't want to have phone number optional, ideally, depending on what kind of campaigns you're running. And then, you would then go ahead here and then have an end page for non-leads. So here you can just maybe send them to whatever website makes sense. Maybe you want to send them to your Instagram page, whatever makes sense based on your situation. You can just let them know this may not be the best fit for you. And then on the end page for leads, then this is a second opportunity to grab more information from them, or get them to contact you, or book an appointment with you. So you can put your calendar link in here. You could put like a survey link, or chat on WhatsApp is one that's completely fine. The reason I don't recommend this one is because people are, on their phone at like 10 p.m. or, when they're kind of chilling, they're not at work. So these are probably not hours that you will be available as well, which is why I don't recommend having that option. But depending on your business type, it can work, and it also gives them the chance to just speak to you straight away. So the other part of this, which makes a massive difference, is the copy or the primary text that you're putting in here. So ideally you want to have long copy, because what that actually creates is clicks for intent, and it also allows you to create desire for the thing that you're offering through long copy. If you only had like one sentence, then there's a very limited amount of desire that you can create from that for them to actually want the thing that you're offering. And short copy is typically going to attract more curiosity clicks, as opposed to actually having desire for what you're offering. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. And just for example, 400 to 600 words of reading actually indicates, that they're paying attention and that there is some desire there for what you're actually offering as well. And that's another thing that's actually feeding the algorithm. So the algorithm will be looking at, how much time are people spending on your image, or, your video, or reading your ad copy. So that's another signal for the algorithm to be working off as well. The other good thing about long copy is you can actually handle the objections that people will have in the copy itself before you potentially get on like a sales call with that person, or wherever your sales process is. It also allows you to drop in social proof, so examples of other customers or clients that you have, so that you can then build that trust with them, build authority. And that way they're far more likely to actually want what you're offering as well. And then by the time they submit their information on the form, they're kind of already half sold as well. Also, to add to that, you want to be as specific as possible. So for example, in your ad copy, you don't just want to tell them, that this thing will help them save time, for example. You want to tell them that this will help them save 12 hours per week. Being more specific makes it more believable, it makes it more tangible, and it makes it more powerful as well when it comes to copywriting. Another thing is you always want to sell the outcome, not the feature. So, for example, sell the destination, as opposed to the vehicle. And just a way you can think about this is when you're selling, let's say, a holiday, you don't want to, or a vacation, if you're in the US, you don't want to sell the fact that they have to drive to the airport, they're going to have to carry all their bags, they're going to have to pack, they're going to have to then, spend time in a queue, then they're going to have to sit on the plane, listen to babies crying, etc. You want to just sell them on the fact that they're going to be sitting on a beach on a beautiful island, and they can be sitting back, sipping their margarita or whatever they're drinking, and just chilling. That's what you want to sell them on, not the way to get there. Also, as a final point on this one, so if you can increase perceived value of what you're offering, that is much cheaper than actually just increasing your ad spend. So if you can increase desire for what you're looking for, you can basically make more money without changing anything else. And the fourth lever is the campaign objective that you actually select. So, sometimes a common mistake I see is people will click traffic. Traffic is not probably actually what you want. You probably want leads, or, if you're running some kind of e-commerce, then sales. So make sure you pick the correct objective based on what you're actually looking to achieve, so that you can tell the algorithm that you either want leads or you want sales, and that way you can get what you're actually looking for. And so with this, what I would recommend is select leads and just use lead forms, as that is a very simple, easy way for you to generate leads. And if you're selling a product, then you would want to click sales and then make sure you have all the tracking set up so that you're making sure the algorithm is actually optimizing for people who land on your post-purchase page. So to put it all together, you want to be looking at can we create a video for this? Can we actually use conditional logic to improve the quality of the leads that we're generating? Can we actually use longer form copy in order to be able to create desire for what we're offering? And if you have all of these things in place, then you're going to see massive multipliers in the success of your ads. And also, one key thing to keep in mind is offer is king when it comes to this. So if you're actually offering something that is not desirable in the first place, you're going to have a very hard time to actually increase your results, because that's the biggest multiplier. It's like the 80-20 of running ads. So the offer is going to do 80% of the heavy lifting when it comes to your advertising campaigns. But if your offer is good and you can, even if you just use the conditional logic, expect your cost per lead to increase a bit, but expect your quality of lead to increase by much more, and therefore your cost per client acquisition is going to reduce. So if you found this useful, make sure to like, comment any questions that you may have, and subscribe, as I will be putting out far more value than I currently have so far.